Hey everybody, this is Ribo at the Bench doing a watch review today on this Seiko Kinetic Perpetual calendar. I believe this is the SNP line. The SNP line comes in a number of different color variations. I'm not sure of the exact model number of this one, but it's the dark gray or black around the edge, and then kind of this lined center that I'll show up close in just a minute. So yeah, let's get into the review. All right, so first of all, price. So this watch I think originally maybe retails for about $600. I think the real market though is around the $300 range. That's kind of what I've seen other color variations going for. This is a Kinetic Perpetual, so essentially there is a battery in here that is charged similar to a solar watch. The battery is just charged with kinetic energy. So as you move, it's charging the battery, and it has a power reserve that I think can store up to 6 months. And so essentially you can, unlike an automatic watch, you can put this guy down, not wear it for a couple weeks, pick it back up, and it'll wind itself to the correct time, which is why I'm not touching this watch yet. I've let it die. Earlier today I let this die, and then I'll show how it winds back up. A quick size comparison. Try to do this without causing this to wind up. So your Seiko SKX007, a little bit bigger. Your Casio F91W, a little bit smaller. And the G-Shock GD350, obviously much larger. And so you can see that this watch is a good bit smaller than the Seiko. So not a big watch, which I'm a fan of. All right, so purpose of this watch is going to be a dress watch. It's on a metal band. You're not really going to be able to swap the bracelet out for something a little bit less casual, and I'll kind of show why. I guess before I get into that, let me just illustrate the self-winding feature. So today is the 30th, so it won't advance the date. However, you'll see that the time is stopped at 1:33. And currently it is 5:15. So if I pick this up, let me get it nice and in focus here and give this a couple shakes. You can see it winding itself, which is really nice. Just a really smooth wind, and stops right there at 5:15, and second hand is now ticking. Just beautiful. I mean, it's just a great feature. It's really awesome to pick this guy up after not wearing it for a little while, and to put it on your wrist and have it wind itself to the correct time. Just really nice. Obviously, if the date was different, it would advance as well. So this watch is a little glossy, but hopefully the camera's picking up this kind of lined interface, which I think is really nice. You've got it both on the Kinetic Perpetual dial here that shows the month. Let me see if I can get rid of these smudges a little bit to really show that off. But you've got just a really beautiful interior face there that I think is just really classic. This watch is a dress watch for me. I wear it to work often, and I think it looks really nice, as a dress watch. You've got a crown on the side with this kind of little black bulb here. But the idea of this, of a Kinetic Perpetual, is that basically, you get it set up once and you don't have to touch it again. And so the idea is, you're going to be using it, every 6 months or so at least, and so it'll stay charged up. You'll notice that you're going to have a tough time wearing a NATO or anything like that, because if I can get this in focus, but basically because those I don't know what you call those kind of prongs are built in there. And so this isn't really something that you're going to take off, and it just wouldn't look right with those two removed. So this is one you're going to want to wear with the band that came with it, which is fine. This is a very nice band. You can see that it's full metal throughout, so it's not capped on the end. So it's a solid, very solid. It's a little bit heavier watch, but the bracelet is very nice. It's a butterfly closure, so it'll come together, which I really like. I know some people don't, but I'm a big fan of butterfly closures. I just think they wear nicer to me. They feel better, and I think they just look better. And so I've really enjoyed that. Give you a quick shot of the back. Nothing too interesting, nothing like your SKX, just the stamped name and model number. So you've got this is not a day date, it's just a date. You have your 24-hour timer down here, this sub-dial here. You have your month counter right here, so you can see it's May. Waterproof to 100 meters. And then you've got your leap year over here. So very key in setting a perpetual calendar watch is that you need to set the leap year. So it's going to be a +1, +2, +3, or leap year. And essentially that just ensures that, that this date counter keeps spinning correctly. So let's see. So the purpose we talked about, kind of gave an overview of the different features. Let's see, functions, loom. So the loom is very nice. It's nothing like your SKX here, which is a diver's watch and meant to be very strong loom, but the loom is pretty nice. Let me see if I can charge it real quick, just to show this off. Yeah, it's going to be tough in the daylight, but there you go. Let me get this light. There you go. So you can see that the hands and the dots above each date are loomed. The second hand is not loomed. But one really nice thing about this is that while this is a dressier watch and the hands are metallic, you do have loom on there. So if you get it in a kind of a more reflective light, you can still see the loom on each hand, which is nice. Some watches that are metal hands, they have a tendency to kind of refract the light, and sometimes you can have trouble with the viewing angles. This guy, I've never had any issues. I find it pretty clear. The loom actually does help during the day to kind of distinguish the time here, just because the chrome of the hands here is the same as the chrome of the sub dials, but I've never really noticed much of an issue. Yeah, so readability is pretty good. Timekeeping I haven't had any issues with. Honestly, after wearing an automatic watch, it's a really nice thing to have one of these that I can kind of take out of rotation for a couple weeks and pick it back up, and it just picks right back up. So it's a very maintenance-free watch. It's just a really classic looking watch. I just really like this this Seiko. What would I do to improve this? I think the only thing that really bugs me is this right here. So the crown here is just, I don't know, it just doesn't really match the rest of the watch. It's kind of this, it's not rubber, I don't know if it's glass or what this ball here is, but to me it just doesn't look very nice on the watch. It kind of calls out the crown, whereas I would prefer it to just be straight metal, something more along the lines of the SKX. I don't know, it just kind of looks goofy to me because it kind of plays into this outer dial here. But that's kind of a nitpicky thing. Other than that, I like the band. I like the fact that it's kind of a mixture between the matte and the shiny. So you have matte on the outside, middle, and outside, and then shiny kind of on the two inside faces. Not sure if the camera is picking that up or not. And then the other thing, maybe make this a little bit more friendly to other straps or bands. But again, I really like the the bracelet that comes with this, and so that's not too much of an issue for me either. So that's about it. Cutter carry, definitely carry. I really like this watch as a dress watch. Again, this is kind of deviating from the normal type of review things that I would do, but I've really enjoyed this. I've worn this for several years, and it's been really a joy to me. And so if you have the chance to pick one up, or even just to wear one, try one on at the Seiko store, they're really a gem. Especially, I think it's been many years since these have come out, and the price is coming down significantly. So if you have a chance to grab one of these at a good deal, I highly recommend this. Pretty much the SKX and the SNP here are my two go-tos for for a little bit of a dressier occasion, or just for, I guess, casual kind of dress, like business, casual kind of deal. But it's a very comfortable watch, doesn't pull hair or anything like that. And just a really good watch. So hope this has been helpful for you, and hope to see you next time.